Academy of Art University's Urban Night Update is next. Coming up, the hidden dangers of a breakfast food America eats every day.
A new study reveals what's causing all the traffic congestion in downtown San Francisco.
Tips on how to save money living in one of the priciest cities in the world.
And we'll take you inside the new world of pop-up museums and all and more next on Urban Nights Update.
Keep me from going cuckoo for the great show.
We all know San Francisco's traffic is bad, but is Uber and Lyft to blame? According to San Francisco County Transportation Authority, traffic has gotten worse from 2010 to 2016. The study goes on to show that 25% of the vehicles on the road are Uber and Lyft. They are responsible for half of the increased traffic congestion. Both Uber and Lyft contest the study, saying it doesn't consider the other factors like rise in population and increase in tourism.
A glitch in the system is causing Uber and Lyft drivers to be dropped, and many are fearing that they might be out of a job. The San Francisco Chronicle is reporting that some drivers still have no answer to why they have been barred, and others told it was a glitch and still not able to get pickups. Drivers are worried that they might be next to be dropped, and many are living paycheck to paycheck. Just missing a couple days can have a major impact on when their next meal is and providing for their family.
A child in Florida becomes first flu fatality of the season, according to the state health officials there. Reportedly, the child tested positive for influenza B and died the week of September 30th. Last season, 80,000 people died. A flu shot can prevent some people from getting the flu, but it is not for everyone. So consult your doctor before making a definite decision to get a shot. A mysterious new disease has medical experts puzzled. 127 cases of polio-like disease have been discovered, mostly affecting children. The symptoms are paralyzing of the legs and your arms. An official for the Center of Disease Control says that all the cases that have been reported are kids 18 and younger. Still, in the early stages of the newfound disease, AFM is being studied and researched. So far, there is no clues as to what is causing it and why the number of cases is going up.
Speaking of kids getting sick, there's a new awareness of cancerous materials in cereal. Cole Morgan has the story.
Keep me from going cuckoo for the great chocolatey taste of Cocoa Puffs. I'm going to ride up and down this elevator all day.
11th floor, Munchie.
Going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs was a way of life on Sunday morning as a kid. But did you know that all these cereals that you loved and cherished, that there's actually something bad for you in them? Let's go to Dr. Tara Lemoyne as she describes what's actually going on in these cereals.
I think that there is no doubt there are carcinogenic materials that are found in many of our food sources, especially the amount of grains that are consumed not only by children but by adults in the U.S. Coming from a place where there's a high agricultural base and a real robust utilization of pesticides, there is a direct correlation between our health, our medical health, and the foods that we eat on a daily basis.
Glyphosate, also found in Roundup or any other weed killer, is what is being found in these cereals. As you can see in the next charts, if you're exposed to glyphosate or especially Roundup, the cancerous cells are more likely to be shown in your blood work. Michaela Godin giving a little insight on her point of view after reading this article on cancerous materials found in cereals.
Reading the article, it is a little scary considering that I grew up eating cereal. My mom was always, she wouldn't let me get the really sugary kind. She wouldn't let me get like the Trix or what's the other one? Fruit Loops. Never would let me get those, and I never really knew why. And then after reading this article, I understand that I should take some caution and kind of look more into the cereal that I'm letting my kids eat.
Current news on the association of pesticides in our cereals and their carcinogenic potential. All parents should be concerned about what their children are consuming on a daily basis. There are certain brands and types of cereal that have lower rates of carcinogenic material or none at all. And I think each parent should carefully select for their children what's in their best interest to eat on a daily basis.
In San Francisco, I'm Cole Morgan with your Urban Nights update.
That will make you think next time you buy a box of Cocoa Puffs.
Hold on, guys. Sperm count in the US and Europe have been on decline for decades. Yet scientists across the globe are still having a hard time pinpointing the exact reason why. Various studies suggest environmental pollution, dietary, and lifestyle changes as potential causes in decrease in sperm rate, further bolstering what many scientists already believe. The next step will be to figure out exactly what and why more men are shooting blanks.
Indonesian police
say they have broken up a child trafficking operation that was allegedly bullying and selling babies on Instagram. 4 people were arrested, including a 22-year-old mother and 29-year-old suspected broker in Indonesia's second largest city, Surabaya. Authorities were alerted to an account on a popular photo sharing site that presents itself as offering pregnancy consultation and adoption services.
For our special segment, here's Angela Mora and Stefan Milivojevic talking about mental health, and also we have an interview from an athletic trainer touching on the issue.
Mental health is a huge issue that we hardly ever address. 1 in 5 people have some sort of mental health problems. Some people have more than one mental disorder. According to Medical News Today, 9.8 million adults have a serious mental disorder.
Mental health is like physical health. Everyone has it and everybody needs to take care of it. Here is Taylor Howick, one of RTU Athletics trainers, to give us more details about mental health.
Mental health is a varying mental situation for a lot of people. It can be emotional, it can be spiritual. A lot of mental health is anxiety, depression, PTSD, schizophrenia. There's a lot of medical conditions that fall under the umbrella of mental health. Right now in our country, we're kind of going through a pandemic of mental health, and it's an issue that I think that we need to face as a country and kind of realize that it is an issue and start to address that issue. So mental health does not discriminate. It can affect all ages, all genders, all races. You can get it from childhood into adulthood and late adulthood. It typically affects more of the high school generation into the collegiate generation, but it does not have a certain age group that it affects the most. Mental health is such a big issue these days that it needs to be addressed. So if you kind of see a friend that seems more down or different, don't be afraid to ever say anything about it. Or if you yourself are having emotional or rough times, don't be afraid to reach out to your friends, family members, or professionals to ask for help, because there always is help and you can find it wherever you look.
Knowing that mental health doesn't have a certain age that it could happen to you is scary. The easiest way to help avoid not furthering your symptoms is not to be afraid to talk to someone.
It can also go the other way. If you see a friend acting different, be there for them. For medical news, today schizophrenia normally starts as early as 15. If you see they feel uncomfortable, you can also suggest them professional help or maybe even let someone know.
Thanks, Stefan and Angel. A different kind of health problem in the sports world. Does the difference in level make a huge impact on concussions in women's soccer? Let's go to Raquel Herrera to give us more details.
There are so many different levels in women's soccer, and injuries will always be there, but concussions have been a serious issue these past couple of years. Out of 31,000 reported injuries, 6,000 were concussions. Does the level of play make a difference? Let's go to club coach Ivan Bandoff to see his perspective on things.
Yeah, I mean, through my years of coaching, I'd say we've had probably 5 to 6 concussions. Probably, more recently, I'd say probably 2 to 3 in the last few years. But yeah, unfortunately they do happen, but we make sure they take the proper time off until they're fully healed and cleared from a doctor until they resume activities with the team. We want the kids to play hard. Obviously we teach them techniques of tackling that are safe, so hopefully that prevents any concussion type issues. But we definitely want them to play hard and compete because we feel it makes them better players. It improves our team, but we also make sure that they're taught the right way. So when they are tackling and going into 50-50 balls, it's done in a safe manner.
Now that we got Ivan's perspective on what he wants from his girls, let's head to Cheney Mata, our rec coach, to see what she has to say. How many concussions have you had to deal with at this level of soccer?
I think about around 3. Yeah, three of my players. So at this level, I want them to have fun and be safe, but also want to win. So if they need to go for it, they need to go for the headers. I just want them going in safely. So I have a certain way of teaching them how to go in to a ball safely in the air and out of the air.
It doesn't make a difference what level you play at. Concussions seem to happen at every level in every sport. So if you feel any symptoms like dizziness, confusion, nausea, and even just a headache, get checked. It's not worth risking your life for. In San Francisco, I'm Raquel Herrera with Urban Nights Update.
According to DoSomething.org, those who have already had one concussion seem more susceptible to having another.
Google's new phones looking to compete with the big boys from Apple and Samsung. The Pixel 3 was announced last week and is near the same price point of the Galaxy S9. The feature that makes this phone stand out is its dual 8-megapixel front camera. That gives it the best front camera in the business, and it becomes the best phone for selfies. With its software also filled with Google services, this phone is looking to crack into the duopoly between Samsung and Apple. PlayStation's slogan is "Greatness awaits," and it looks like we will be waiting for the next big thing. Rumors about a potential PlayStation 5 are starting to surface, with the PS4 Pro just being an upgrade on the PS4 that came out 5 years ago. Gamers are yearning for the next generation of consoles. Latest estimates show that a reveal may be coming in 2019 and a possible release in the year 2020.
Epic Games is not a stranger to suing Fortnite cheaters. But now the developer is aiming at a high-profile YouTuber, Brandon Lucas, also known as Golden Moz, and Colton Counter, also known as Eccentric, are being sued for using and selling cheats. Lucas allegedly violated the Digital Millennium Copyright Act by posting videos of his cheating and selling cheat tools through his website. Colton sometimes also is part of those videos. Fortnite ruining relationships? Over the past year, Fortnite has been recorded in 200 different cases as the reason for divorce and breakups. Here's Gary Davis with a story on Fortnite relationships in San Francisco.
Over the past year, Fortnite has been recorded in 200 different cases as a reason behind divorces and breakups. Since the popular game has grown and the amount of gamers playing on different consoles or computers, the amount of time dedicated to the game has increased. I spoke to Alyssa Gonzalez, former girlfriend, a Fortnite streamer, Twitch.splitcam.
With gaming, it's like it kind of brings miscommunications, I would say, because it's like you're talking to the person and they're gaming and they're not fully there, like they're not fully listening, and you're trying to find these little gaps of times of when you can say something to them, but even then you kind of don't know how focused they're going to be. When you do get that quality time, you kind of feel, it's almost like guilt, but not quite guilt, but you kind of feel a little bit bad because you know how much they love gaming, and it's like they're obligated to kind of hang out with you, as weird as that sounds.
Time management was the major issue in ruining relationships. Many other couples felt like Fortnite replaced the happiness that they gave to their lover. I talked to Cameron Niven about what sensation that the people truly feel after winning the game.
I think Fortnite, along with pretty much all other video games, can cause a lot of problems in someone's life. They get you chasing certain sensations and feelings that you're just in an endless pursuit of, and you lose sight of what actually matters in life. But at the end of the day, video games are just a hobby. And while you do need to make time for hobbies, you also need to make time for your responsibilities.
In San Francisco, I'm Gary Davis for Urban Nights Update.
Fortnite's new season is out now, which will only cause more problems in relationships.
Another store almost on its way out, Sears, filed for bankruptcy on Monday, but says they will be able to get their sales up back after a decade or decline in retail. As part of their reorganization plan, Sears will be closing 142 unprofitable stores. Although Sears has filed for bankruptcy protection, it won't have much effect on their competitors like Walmart, Kohl's, and Home Depot. It's safe to say that bankruptcy hasn't been too kind to old school retailers. So let's see if Sears can break that curse. Free college. San Francisco will provide the City College of San Francisco with nearly $5.5 million every year. The 2-year community college charges $46 per unit, which will benefit over 28,000 students. San Francisco Supervisor Jane Kim said this will provide greater opportunities for more people to enter and stay in the middle class. Full-time low-income students will also be given a $250 stipend to cover other costs.
Every week we have a roundtable conversation about relative topics. Today, Nick Conway is discussing ways to save money.
Thanks, Al. As you know, San Francisco is the most expensive city in the U.S., and that has caused many problems for people living and working in the city. What you may not know is that there are plenty of ways to save money. I'm here with a couple of college students, Elena, Victor, and Din, and we're going to talk to you about a couple of ways to save money. For starters, let's talk about food. I mean, everybody knows that eating in is obviously way less expensive than going out to eat, but I mean, what are some examples that you guys have?
I think as students, I think we're kind of like professionals about like knowing, you know, how to save money. We live in a budget, so like for example, for me, I try to like make a lot of like meal preps, not going out to eat that much, and you know, have my meals for the whole week, so I can, you know, make more portion to eat.
Yeah, when you go to the grocery store, you know, you can use coupons. Just don't overbuy stuff. Don't splurge. Just buy what you need. Not a lot of snacks. Just buy what you need. You know.
Yeah, because every time you go to a grocery store, you just want to get
everything,
like snacks, everything.
I mean, it's honestly amazing how much money you will spend on food if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, so I mean, like transportation, for example. Like everybody knows Uber is super expensive. Gas prices are really expensive. So I mean, like taking the bus, riding your bike, like things like that. I mean, you guys, what do you guys do?
Yeah, plus I mean, we were young, you know, like instead of like just taking the Uber, which is like the easiest and more comfortable way, you know, you can just ride your bike or just walk.
Get a ride from someone.
You can go bus, because normally I go bus.
Yeah.
It's easier.
And it's cheap, yeah.
Yeah, you save money on gas that way and everything.
Yeah, because you're contributing to the environment. So.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Exactly. I mean, you know, minus like bikes and buses and stuff like that, San Francisco is a beautiful city. So I mean, walking every once in a while isn't a bad idea. So I mean, like, what about for entertainment? You know, everybody likes to go to the movies. Everybody likes to go to the clubs or whatever. Like, what do you guys have to say about that?
You need
There's a movie pass.
Yeah,
like
movie
you can
pass.
pay like $20 and then you can go to any movie in that month. So $20 monthly.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, for example, here in the city, I think it's called Centric movie. Yeah. Yeah, and Tuesdays, actually they're like $5. You know, you can go watch like any movie that you want for $5. That's pretty good. It's a great deal. So
yeah, I think you just need to be mindful of what you're spending your money on. You know, don't go out to the club. Don't go out with your friends all the time if you don't have any money. You just have to be mindful and careful what you're spending it on.
Yeah. Or maybe you can go out like at the end of the week or like twice.
Don't go out every day. Don't go shopping all the time, buying a bunch of shoes or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, and also like, I mean, everybody likes to buy new clothes and stuff like that. Like, you know, I mean, like Ross, like super cheap if you know what you're looking for. Like, I don't know, like you could really find some crazy deals in there. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, if you have time, like you can find there, like anything that you want. Honestly, like you can find like, you know, good brands over there for like 70% off.
For good prices.
Yeah.
Especially girls, we have to buy a lot of stuff like cosmetics and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, that stuff adds up.
Yeah,
you just have to be
control yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, like I said, like just, I mean, the main things are just clothes, transportation, food, and entertainment. I mean, that's the real main things that people spend money on. But,
yeah. If you take care of those things, I think you're good.
Yeah. Just be mindful of your spending.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you guys. I think that's it for the roundtable. Back to you.
Thanks for those tips. Now let's join Zuri Williams for the latest in entertainment.
Thank you. Now let's get into this week's entertainment news. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed Creed 1, Creed 2 is coming out this Thanksgiving. made by Warner Brothers, and it should be pound for pound a good one with a great plot to it. The worldwide box office views for Creed 1 hit 174 million, which is a tremendous number, and the Thanksgiving Day movie ranked number 8 on the amount of money it made, reaching $42 million after 5 days of it being out. And this year, we'll see if more records will be broken.
It's like nothing really matters to him right now, including me.
You gotta think real hard about this. So you got people that need you now.
I'm taking the fight.
Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, who infamously killed Apollo Creed, appeared today to issue a challenge to Adonis Creed.
Don't do this.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands.
Wow, now let's see if Adonis Creed can come up victorious in this anticipated matchup. Now, Halloween is coming up, and it's bringing a classic film back in action. With Michael Myers being introduced in 1978, this year in 2018, he's looking to make a huge comeback for this spooky season. He's been gone for some years, but with the new plot, he's looking to make a grand entrance to his fans. Halloween fanatics, you should be ecstatic. But I'm not a big fan of scary movies, but if you are, October 19th is the date for you.
He is a killer, but he will be killed tonight. Happy Halloween, Michael.
The trailers to this movie called The Possession of Hannah Grace has audiences on the edge of their seat. This exhilarating, suspenseful movie made by the creators of Sony and the movie Don't Breathe will have you closing your eyes the whole time. On November 30th, starring Shay Mitchell, we'll see if this film can catch some worldwide attention. And there are a couple scenes in here that give me the chills, but let's see if it can do the same for people viewing across the world.
Story.
Hello?
Now, I hope all this information gave you some things to look forward to in the entertainment world. Now, join us next time.
Thanks, Zuri. A rapper with roots here at AAU is joining us. Cam Jones sits down with Victor Ruiz Carzana to talk about his music.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm sitting down here with music producer and songwriter Cam Jones. Cam, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, first things first, man. I just want to say thank you so much for taking time of your day and come here, sitting with us, talk about your music.
Of course, man. Of course.
Big fan of your music, and yeah. So, like, the first question I have for you, like, how you got into music? What made you want to be a musician?
So the thing is with music, I feel like I've always been pretty musically inclined. Me just being an athlete, music always just kind of played the background role. I was always the kid that had like the newest music on like my playlist and stuff like that. And you know, just being an athlete, music just kind of plays a big role. But it wasn't until like my sophomore year in college. I'd always been like making music. Like when I was 14, I actually got a laptop, and that was actually when I made my first song like ever. No one has ever heard it, but it was actually when I got into college, my sophomore year of college. I was just like, yeah, this is kind of like what I want to do. I had put my first song out on SoundCloud and got some like pretty good traction on it, and so I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna really try to do this. So that's kind of where it started.
That's awesome, man. So like as every artist, you know, everyone gets their own inspiration. Where you get yours from?
I know this is kind of a cliche answer, but I feel like I just get inspired by everything. I think with my music, personally, like I'm just a nerd about it. So like, I guess you can say like my biggest inspiration of the reason why I do this is Pharrell. I think Pharrell's creativity is just like, there's no window for him, or not a window. There's no ceiling for him. Like there's no, you know, there's no boundaries. And so I think that's kind of like the biggest thing with me. Is just like I like to express all my creativity in different forms. So yeah, I just pull literally inspiration from everyday things that I do, and just other people and stuff of that nature.
Awesome, man. So like pretty much have your goals set already. Like you're pretty serious about this. Like, what you see yourself in the future, like doing in music.
So, I guess you can say that there's a lot of things I like to do in the future. But as far as music-wise, I have a brand. My brand is called Studio 2. We're an in-house creative label / record label. I have a group of, talented creatives, which are graphic designers, producers, engineers, all that. I would really like to have my company just really be, just have a successful company. And that sounds kind of cliche, but just really build an organic fan base that could really follow me and, eventually do shows and like really big shows and sell at arenas and, platinum plaques, the whole nine. So that's kind of the goal for now.
Awesome, man. And to wrap it up, man, like what are the platforms that we can listen to your music?
I'm everywhere. So whatever platform you guys have, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Napster, Google Play, Tidal, literally anything. Just go ahead and type my name and it's all Cam Jones, all lowercase, or you could probably find it in uppercase too. But yeah, Cam Jones on every single streaming platform.
There you go. Well, that was everything for today. Thank you, Cam, again.
Of course, man.
Back to you.
Halloween is right around the corner. And what's your favorite candy and why? That's the question of the week.
I'm gonna have to say Snickers because you're not you when you're hungry.
Reese's Pieces because I love peanut butter chocolate and I love like the shape and consistency of M&M's, so it's like the best of both worlds.
Sour Patch Kids. I love the commercials, sweet and sour.
Sour Patch Kids because my dad is a dentist, and so when we were little and growing up, he would always go through all of our candy and take out all the sugar-coated ones.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups because the commercials really bring out the Halloween feel.
Favorite Halloween candy are Butterfingers. When I was little, we would all trade. So the youngest would do Twix, the middle one would do Reese's, and I would do Butterfinger.
Twix because chocolate and caramel plus a cookie. Like that sounds like the best candy ever.
New art installations are taking over. They're called Popup Museums. Part candy store, part art gallery, part playground. Tamara Jaber is in San Francisco to give us a Candytopia tour.
There's a new style of art installation popping up everywhere, and it's like stepping into a dream. They're called Pop-Up Museums, but the only picture frames you'll see are right here, on smartphones. These museums are part of a new generation of pop-up art experiences that turn almost everything into an Instagram-worthy moment, designed to look good in person and here on Instagram. There's the Museum of Ice Cream, the Color Factory, the Museum of Selfies, and here in San Francisco, Candytopia. Others have themes around color, dreams, pizza, and rosé wine.
It was awesome, full of fun and happiness and ice cream.
So whimsical, like I feel like a kid again, which is the most amazing feeling. Like as adults we need to play and this is the perfect place for it.
Instagrammable museums are popping up everywhere. In the summer of 2018, hundreds open just like this one. But why? Are people here for the art, for the candy, or for that perfect Instagrammable moment?
I feel like it's the inner child in me. I think it's really bright. And to eat the candy.
We just go to all the museums. We went to the Color Factory, the Ice Cream Factory, and this is the new pop-up, so we're gonna check it out.
They like Pop-Up Museum because of taking pictures. Nowadays, a lot of us, especially millennials, they like taking pictures, posting it on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, those social media apps. That's the number one thing.
Basic admission runs around $40 and they often sell out months in advance. These places might not feel like real museums and instead more like a trendy fad with ball pits. But right now, they're shaping the way we consume art. I'm Tamara Jaber in San Francisco for Urban Nights Update.
Makes you want to visit a museum, doesn't it?
Well, that wraps up this edition of Urban Nights Update. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Al Mora.
And I'm Arun Palacio. See you back next time.